God warns the enemy is stealing your miracle. Don't skip a single word. Vital information for you is hidden just ahead.
Hey, chosen one!
Heaven just let something amazing into your life that you can't fully understand or see with your eyes. This is like a direct line, or a special bank account with your name on it. It was set up by your Creator, and is okay with the one who has seen you stay faithful all these years without noticing. There isn't some faraway, vague good thing that will happen someday. You don't have to earn it or show that you deserve it. Instead, a real, active supply from heaven is coming your way right now, with a divine purpose and approval that will last. You didn't just happen to be here at this time. You got this message just at the right time, because of something you couldn't see. A lot of people will never hear what's coming out today. They weren't ready for it when it came, not because it wasn't meant for them. You are here though. You're all set. What's going to be said about your life isn't just an idea either. It comes straight from the court of heaven. The account is now open. The connection is complete, and the thing you've been waiting for is on its way to every part of your life. Do not skip any words. What you're about to learn will completely alter how you see your situation, how you go about your days, and why you've kept going with what you've been going through for so long. It's interesting to be around people who are about to enter a season of direct supply. They're feeling a certain kind of tired. It's not that they are lazy or haven't tried. People who have knocked on every door, done everything they were told, and done the right thing at the right time are tired. But blessings are still coming slowly or at all. That sounds like you. If you know how heavy it is to be faithful, but not see any results, then what heaven is saying today is exactly what you need to hear. You're not behind. We haven't missed you. No, you have not been forgotten because God's plan ran out of resources before it got to your name. The wait was never about whether you deserved it or not. It was about taking you to a certain place, but that place just changed. Even if you haven't seen them. These 5 things mean that the direct supply line is already open and working in your life. You'll know right away what you need to do next, but you won't be able to explain it. There isn't a full plan or answer, but you have a quiet certainty about one next step that wasn't there before. This isn't just what you planned. This is the channel becoming open. Anyone who is getting help from God gets clear instructions first, because God doesn't pay for confusion. He pays for purpose. If recently something has become clear to you that you couldn't figure out even after researching it or working hard, that clarity is the sign. The money follows the goal, and now you know what your goal is. Pay attention to what you know. Just because it came quietly doesn't mean it was just wishful thinking. That kind of clarity that is quiet is often the most reliable. It's easy to hear a loud voice. To be heard, a voice from deep inside you needs peace and quiet. And the fact that you heard it means that you were in the right place, at the right time for it to happen in your life. You're feeling strangely restless about your current situation, which is the second sign. Things that were fine before don't feel right now. Things that used to make you feel fine are now making you feel spiritually uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable is not being ungrateful. That restlessness isn't a sign of impatience. It's your spirit responding to something bigger and better. Before heaven starts a new season, it makes the old one feel too small to stay in. You've been feeling restless because God is slowly pulling you away from something that wasn't meant to last in your life. This is how God moves people who are stuck. He doesn't move the blessing and leave you to find it somewhere else. He doesn't force you to move toward the blessing. Instead, He makes it harder and harder to stay where you are. It's not a problem to fix that you're uncomfortable. It's a way to find your way. The third sign is that little good things have started to happen that you didn't expect. There are hints of the big breakthrough, but it's not quite there yet. A bill that wasn't paid by you but was still paid. A refund out of the blue, or a conversation out of the blue that opened a door you hadn't even tried to open. It's not an accident. These are the first drops that came in from the line. Heaven uses little things to see how well you can focus before opening the whole channel. Pay attention to what new stuff you can't fully explain has arrived. Notice what happened without you having to work for it or plan it. The arrival of these people is an early sign of a bigger flow that's still building behind them. It's getting harder and harder to deal with conversations, places, and people who always talk about not having enough and the limits in your life. This is the fourth sign. People who used to make you feel good now make you feel drained. It's physically tiring to talk about things that are impossible now, but it wasn't before. This isn't pride. This is how your spirit protects itself. Your spirit is watching out for the unique feeling that's being formed inside you. There is talk of not having enough where the direct supply line doesn't work. You don't need to fix or say sorry for how uncomfortable those places make you feel. Pay attention to and protect it. People who were really careful about their surroundings before the blessing showed up are always the ones who are chosen to enter a new season of blessings. Your ability to pick up on bad vibes isn't a weakness. It is the early warning system of someone who has been given important things to keep safe. The fifth sign is a dream, a thought, or a strong feeling that linked money, good luck, or new opportunities to a specific goal in your life. Not money for the sake of money, but money to help you. A sense that what's coming isn't just for your own good, but for a bigger purpose. That the blessing is meant to do something. That you're meant to build, carry, or do something. And the supply coming your way is what you need to do it. If you've felt that connection between your calling and receiving blessings, that's the best proof that heaven opened this line on purpose, not just to give you plenty. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site, you are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. It's not just a coincidence that you feel these 5 signs. There are clear patterns in the lives of those who are about to enter a time of direct provision. The person who will receive something must first be ready in ways that might make them feel like they're losing something. This is the part of the story that most people get wrong. When they wait, struggle, or feel like time isn't enough or coming back slowly, they think God has left them. But one of the oldest sacred stories has a woman whose life tells a very different story. A woman named Ruth. It seemed like she lost everything. She knew her husband, her home, and everything else in her life. At that moment, she had to choose between the simple path and the honest one. She did what was right even though she didn't know what would happen. It was the right thing for her to do. She didn't know that by making that choice, she was setting up the most amazing turn in her story. To get what other people had left behind, she went to a field in another country. She went to glean, which means to get by without having full access like other people did. The small thing in that sentence is significant. Ruth didn't just hang out at home and wait for things to happen. She went out to the field. She showed up. There wasn't much to choose from, but she grabbed what she could find. Even though picking through trash required a humble spirit that she hadn't had in the past, everything changed when she moved, showed up, and was willing to take what was there while trusting that something bigger was planned. The field owner saw her, and that made everything different. That word doesn't just mean being kind when it comes to what happened between Boaz and Ruth in that field. Someone who was meant to be. The source meets someone who was meant to receive. They weren't just in the same field by chance. God put them there. And when good things happen because God put them there instead of people planning them, it's never enough. The result is too much. It's enough. What kind of blessing is that? People around you will want to know. Old Hebrew names for God as a provider start with the word Jireh. It's where Jehovah Jireh comes from. That name was first spoken at a time when help was not possible. However, Jireh does not only mean to give. It used to mean to see, to look ahead, to know what needs to be done, and to follow through on what was seen. God who gives you what you need is not Jehovah Jireh. God knew what you needed before you even asked for it. The blessing was planned before the issue came up. The money was given to you before you even asked for it. When you know that the blessing wasn't just coming because of your problems, but was planned before they happened, You can see that the delay wasn't because there wasn't enough supply. It took some work to get to the point where you could receive and handle that supply correctly, so that it wouldn't go to waste. You've been on that trip. Every time you didn't have enough, every month of being faithful that didn't show results, and every time you chose to do the right thing even though it would have been easier to do something else. Everything was meant to prepare them, not punish them. Getting ready now, before what's coming next can fully show itself. You need to settle down with something. A certain question has been on your mind for a long time. Not out loud or in words that someone else would understand. But the question has been there, when you were being honest and alone. The question is whether or not you are the type of person who gets this kind of blessing. If someone like you, with your past, your normal life, and your private mistakes, really fits into the category of direct, undeserved, very generous provision. This should finally answer that question. This message wasn't sent to you because you're perfect. This message was sent to you because you were chosen. Those two things are not the same. Getting picked isn't a reward for doing well. You were chosen by God before you were born, and that choice has never changed. As the direct supply line opens, heaven is moving 3 parts of your life around. Not first asking for your permission. As a master builder moves things around, to make a space work for what's being built in it, it's possible that these changes have already begun, and are making you feel lost. It's not an accident. The first area is money and other resources. Why is something different now? Your supply is being sent to you in different ways. Sources that were dry or few are being replaced by ones that you didn't make and can't really claim as your own. Surprising ways to get money, strange connections with resourceful people, and strange invitations to places where money is made. Because the supply isn't coming from where you thought it would. You'll feel confused during this change. You may also feel pushed back, because you were taught to only trust what you built yourself. Things you shouldn't do during this change. Do not ignore things that come from out of the blue. When resources show up without a clear path or explanation, don't be afraid to use them. What you can believe it's not your job, someone else, or a system that provides everything. This direct line was made by the source. Nothing changes because the flow comes from the same source. The second area is your calling and purpose. What is different? Things are quickly becoming much clearer about what you need to do and build. Things are moving on projects that were stuck. Opportunities are coming up that match your calling, not just your skills. How you'll feel during this change. A sense of need that is not stressful but rather helpful. A need to act that used to feel too early or risky. Things you shouldn't do. Don't mix up being busy with having a purpose. It's not always your door that's open. The supply line that's linked to your name is tied to your calling. If you change your calling, you won't get the same blessing. What to believe? The peace you feel about a certain direction isn't a coincidence. It means the door was open just for you. How you connect with other people is the third area. What is different? People who have the tools, knowledge, connections, and support you need for the next season are being put close to you. There are some surprising links in this list. Some things will happen that are too easy to explain naturally. It's not a coincidence. The meetings were set up by the same hand that made the supply line possible. You will feel some connections getting stronger naturally, while others naturally drift away during this change. It may feel like some relationships that seemed like they would last forever are slowly ending. There was no loss in that ending. It means moving around. What not to do. Don't push connections that are ending on their own. People who are leaving your season shouldn't be chased. You won't have to force the people who belong in your new season to stay. What you can believe. It's not luck when a connection feels natural and deep at the same time. When someone gets you without you having to say anything. That's another good thing about a direct supply season. There is another word in the Hebrew text that tells us everything about what is going on in heaven. Yes, the word is shalom. The word shalom, which means peace, is what most people know it from, but the word shalom itself doesn't just mean peace. It means having everything you need. It means to repay, to be made whole, to get back what was taken plus more. This is especially true when talking about God's promises. Back when the law was different, if someone stole something and was later found guilty, they weren't just given back what they took. The verdict was for repayment plus interest. The thief gave back more than they took. The word for that repayment with extra money is shalom. God isn't just giving you back your money this season. God is using the word shalom. He is giving you back what the years of limitation took away, plus interest on what those years were worth. Think about the chances you missed, the time you didn't have enough of, and the resources that should have been there, but weren't. All of that is taken into account when figuring out shalom. The new supply line isn't just money for tomorrow, either. It's an agreement to pay what was owed. You're not beginning over. You are getting what has been set aside plus extra money. Someone fixed something that you couldn't fix yourself. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Along with that, a new path has been made just for people whose childlike mind frequency was lowered because of the noise and stress of a world that doesn't value quiet. You should know this now before this message goes on to what heaven has fully planned. The link is in the message's description and the first comment below it. There are 2 tools ready for you when you are ready. 2 old frequencies that have been rebuilt to help your spirit find what it's been looking for on all levels. 1 to give and 1 to receive. Both are exactly what this message has been about from the beginning. The next step is that link if your spirit already agrees with what is being said. What's ready to flow to you is being blocked by something that needs to be named, because blocks that aren't named don't just go away. When blessings come, when you see them, talk about them, and let them go, they go away. The block is not outside of you. There is no important link, skill, or chance that is missing. The block is inside you, where you think that this kind of blessing doesn't normally happen to you. For you alone, with your past, your mistakes, and the private parts of your life that you think should keep you from receiving direct, undeserved, overwhelmingly abundant blessings. Not just in theory, not for other people, but for them too. You are telling a big lie when you say that. It's a deep, old lie that you believe, because you've thought it so many times, and had your life back it up so many times. There is proof of the lie. When you look at it, it means the years that went by with no progress. It refers to prayers that didn't seem to be answered for too long. It tells you about people who got what you were ready for before you did. And the lie seems real because there is proof of it. But proof is not the same thing as truth. The proof talks about when things happened. The truth tells people about you. Plus, time has never changed who you are as a chosen and unique person, who is meant to receive direct blessings. It was the only thing that covered it. This season isn't about acting like the lie never happened. It's your job to say something over it that is older and stronger than the lie. You are allowed to get things that you didn't earn by being good. You are worthy of grace that doesn't look at your past before giving you the blessing. You can move into a season of plenty without first becoming worthy, which is what your hurt mind wants as a condition. You don't need proof from someone else before you let the old story of never enough be replaced by the living truth of more than enough. You can receive in the same way that a child can receive. From a loving parent, not because the child earned it, but because the parent chose to do so. You can trust that the person who set up this direct line did not do it by accident, and does not need you to do anything to keep it open. You don't have to say sorry for wanting what God made it clear was yours. In the spiritual world, there is a useful way to get blessings. It's not a passivity. It's not enough to wait and hope. It has a certain shape. Being thankful for what has already come is the first part of that shape. No matter how small it seems, say it out loud. Giving real thanks for small blessings creates an atmosphere of receiving that big blessings can pick up on and move toward. The second part is acting on your purpose, which means going in the direction of your calling, even though you can't see any benefits yet. Blessings come after aligned action, but it takes a while. The action needs to come first, then the blessing. Third, don't say anything about what you're carrying. People who were chosen and walked into seasons of direct provision often stopped telling everyone about their plans too soon and stopped waiting for approval before they could see their vision. Instead, they started moving quietly and confidently toward what they were given. These three parts aren't a hard and fast rule. They talk about the way of thinking that keeps the door open to what heaven has to offer. In your mind, this must be clear before you receive what has been set up for the full activation of both frequency layers. This does not have to be a spiritual feeling, it has to be real. There are two things inside you that are stopping you from fully experiencing what heaven has given you. The frequencies are those. First, the mind state of a child fades. In ancient sacred sound traditions, this state was known as the frequency of creative flow, open-handed receiving, and direct, gut-feeling connection. Most people lost their wonder around age 7, when they learned that it was silly to wonder, and that, to be sure, you needed clear proof. This makes a mind that knows how to work hard, but has forgotten how to open its hands and receive. The second is the pattern of active striving, or beta frequency, which has become the default inner state of modern life. The old wisdom practices were created to protect against this state, because a striving mind, which is always thinking, reaching, and judging the distance between now and enough, blocks the very path that blessings need to take to reach us. These aren't just religious thoughts. You can measure them because they are real things. Modern science now backs up and names what the ancients felt and protected in their communities. It was always both layers that were wrong. It's always been necessary to deal with both layers. Now there is a way out for both layers. This is what has been set up for you. We're not getting away from the spiritual truth of this message. It's the answer to what we've been building up to the whole time. The Genius Song is the name of the first tool. The digital sound frequency lasts for 7 minutes, and is meant to be listened to with headphones on, and the eyes closed. It has the sound structure that has been kept alive for hundreds of years in Western monasteries and temples. The sacred frequency structure that kept people's minds like children in groups that knew what the modern world has forgotten how to keep. Gamma is the mind frequency of a child. The ancients protected it with chanting, temple sounds, and carefully placed sacred sounds. The modern person who fixed up this work didn't want their name to be linked to it. It was okay for the work to speak for the tradition that carried it. People who are ready to hear what the ancient tradition kept alive can now hear the Genius Song, which is that rebuilt sound structure, every day for 7 minutes. There's no need for any special techniques, rituals, or written exercises. The mind state of a child comes back when the frequency that supports it is brought back on purpose, and on a regular basis. Now only 37 down from 49, you can get the Genius Song today. It comes with 4 extra resources worth more than $80 altogether. This has been used by over 18,000 people. More than 96% of them still use it. The person in charge of this frequency might also give you one more sound to protect what has been restored in you, so the noise of the world can't shut it down again once it's awake. If you need it, your spirit will tell you. Don't think too much about that choice. But the Genius Song can't fully get over that line by itself. The mind of a child can be brought back to life, but the door will still be closed because it needs a second frequency to open. The mind of a child is awake. Now I'm curious again. Being open is back. The wonder that makes the channel open. We can see the following in that restoration. The child woke up when the gamma frequency hit. The child put out his hands and turned to his father. But something is blocking the channel for manifestation. The alpha state that the Vedic wisdom tradition called the receiving frequency. The doorway through which what was promised flows into the visible world. It's the weight of modern striving and the beta hyperactivity that the ancient traditions were designed to protect the community from. The genius song turned the fading effect around. The mind of a child has been roused. The awakened child can still not get what was promised though, because the reception channel is still closed. It has 2 layers and 2 frequencies. Each one is blocked by a different thing. Both can now be fixed in the right order. First become a child, then get what the Father promised the child. The key to the second level was held by the Vedic wise men, who have been practicing their craft for 300 years without stopping. Not in a book, but in a sound structure and a 9-word sacred chant that has been passed down from temple to temple and generation to generation without being broken. This keeps the alpha state, the receiving channel, the frequency at which what was promised actually comes true, safe. A modern listener turned away from the noise of everyday striving and chose to hear what the ancient tradition had been doing perfectly for thousands of years. The chant was found. He found how the sounds fit together. He made both of them sound good today. The wealth signal is what comes out of it. With headphones on, you can listen to 5 minutes of sound and do a 9-word practice that gets rid of the striving pattern and opens up the channel for manifestation that the Vedic sages guarded for 3,000 years. What they tuned through breathing, words, and disciplined stillness can now be heard again by people in this generation who are ready to receive Alpha, which is the channel that the Vedic tradition kept alive. The 2-wave structure is complete when the genius song wakes up the childlike mind, and the wealth signal fully opens the receiving channel. The ancient traditions found this order on their own, and agreed on it without knowing each other. It is called restoration and reception, childlike mind and open hands. There may be an offer to speed up the opening of the manifestation channel when you get the wealth signal today. Take it if your spirit says so. If not, what you have in the wealth signal is enough to do what was promised. This is how the path is set up for you. On the first path you can only do restoration. The genius song was bought today for 37. The full 7-minute child-like mind frequency restoration with the 4 resources that come with it. For people whose spirit tells them that the most important thing to fix is to stop their child-like mind from talking. This is the right way to start. On the second path, you can only receive. You can get the wealth signal today if your spirit tells you that the main things you need to fix are your striving pattern and your closed receiving channel. Every day for 5 minutes. The Alpha Restoration audio was played along with the 9-word chant from the Vedic tradition. The full 2-wave restoration is the third path. Each one has 2 layers, 2 frequencies, and 2 tools. The genius song and the wealth signal together, in the order that ancient traditions found them to be used first. A childlike mind is restored, then a receiving channel is opened, and finally, blessings flow into a person who is ready and open. That person should take this third path if their spirit tells them that both layers have been affected, that the childlike mind dimming and the striving pattern are present. You know that both are there. if you've been following this message from the start. The description and the first comment below this message show all three paths. Don't look anywhere else for these exact rebuilt frequencies. Other people have made copies of old sound structures that don't come from the real ones that were preserved. They use similar words, but weren't made from the ones that were preserved. It's not always clear what the difference is until you get them. The source that has been checked is the paths in the description and the first comment. Only trust those. If what this message says makes sense to you, type "Received" below to show that you agree with what heaven has said, and that it is now a part of your life. That sentence isn't about counting or numbers. It's a spiritual agreement with what was just passed. 4 different identities belong to the person who is on the edge of direct supply. You don't have to get these titles. People born into these roles are now fully stepping into them for the first time. The first one is the break the cycle. You are the one who breaks the family cycle of never having enough, writes a new chapter in family history for yourself and every generation after you, and stops the story of never having enough that has been passed down. What keeps happening in your family in terms of money issues and blessings that get blocked? Your generation marks the end of that cycle. That cycle was meant to end when you were born. You didn't give up when it would have been easy to do so. That's proof that you were born to do it. You kept choosing to be loyal, even though there wasn't a clear reward yet. People who break the cycle are always the ones who stayed true in the dark, and you stayed true longer than most people would have. The second person is the builder. The person who doesn't just get blessings to use them up, but to make something with them that will last longer than their own life. For the next generation, there are communities, resources, systems, and paths. You're not just going to spend the blessings that come your way. You're going to turn them into something that keeps giving even after you're gone. When God gives money to people, it's not just for their own comfort. They are given money for a reason. That goal is always bigger than one person. The third type of identity is the leader. That person who first goes into places other people are afraid to go, who is willing to walk through a door without knowing for sure what's on the other side, makes a way for everyone who has been waiting for proof that the door is real. Someone in your family, community, or circle of friends is waiting to see if someone like them can really experience the level of blessing that God wrote about in old books. That person is you. Their okay comes from your step. As soon as you walk through, everyone watching asks, "How do I get ready for my own entry?" instead of, "Is it possible?" People who break new ground don't always get credit for it. A path that hundreds of people follow often began with one person walking through unknown territory with what seemed like private bravery. Even if you feel alone in your bravery, it's not. The people who need to see it the most are seeing it. The fourth identity is the one who brings light. The person who not only brings the blessing, but also a story about how it came about. People around you will ask more than just, "What happened to you?" when what heaven does in your life is seen by everyone. "How?" will be the question. It's a gift to everyone who needs to hear that this is real. that it's real for regular people, that it's real for people with complicated pasts, that it's real for people just like them in situations, just like the ones they are in now. Share your answer, the story of preparation and faithfulness, and the direct line that opened for those who were in the right place. That person who bears light doesn't hide the story. Light-bearer tells the right person the right time about what happened, and doesn't hold back any of the truth. Your story of being provided for isn't just for you. It was always meant to light up places that have been dark for too long. These aren't jobs that you post. These are identities that were given to you before you were born, and are now fully awake. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit Community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit Out Community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. A woman in a community won't be named because her story is hers and not worth telling again. It was 9 months ago that everything she had worked hard to build over 4 years was falling apart at once. The main job she had that paid for her work ended without warning. She wasn't in debt yet, but she was about to be in a season. During her whole building season, she had been faithful in little ways. She hadn't told anyone about her plans or vision until they were ready, and she hadn't asked for permission before her work was ready to stand on its own. And one day, a connection showed up for no reason that her logical mind could think of. Not through any of the channels or networks she had set up, but from a path she hadn't planned and hadn't even begun. It only took 3 months for that connection to lead to something that more than doubled the value of everything she had lost. Afterward, she said, "The blessing found me when I had stopped looking for the solution and started trusting the provider." That's not a rule. That's an example of what a direct supply line looks like for someone who was honest before they saw the blessing. Before she was asked to be seen, she had to show that she was faithful. And that's exactly how the blessing found her. Stay here for one more second before this message ends. For the reason that this message was brought to your attention right now, what is about to be said about your life. God, the Father of blessings and plenty, sees and plans ahead of time, before anyone even says they need something. God who keeps all of Shalom's power over those who have waited faithfully. We bring this person in front of you right now. The one who endured seasons that went on longer. than they should have because of prayers that were not answered. The person who stuck by their promise, even though it would have been easy to give up, whose name is on the list of people who are about to receive what was always meant for them, but needed some time to grow, so they could carry it without dropping it. Right now, look at them not for what they were, but for what they have become through the waiting, the faithfulness, and the quiet choice to keep going, even when it seemed smart to stop. Let go of the false idea that blessings need to be perfect before they can land. Say goodbye to the idea that someone with your past can't be in this many categories. Allow yourself to forget all the times that someone told you that you were too late, too broken, too normal, too much of something, or not enough of something else for a direct line from heaven to be open just for you. Don't compare yourself to other people whose timing seemed better or whose path seemed easier. Do not feel like you need to explain why you deserve what God chose to give you. Let go of the tiredness of having to prove you deserve something that was given to you by grace, not your own hard work. Let go of any inner calculations that were based on your failures and your right to receive. Let everything fall. Everything at this very moment. Everyone agrees that they don't have enough. There was always that voice that told you you were too small for this. Every time someone says, "Why not you?" let it fall off of you like it was never yours to carry, because it was never yours. This season, the only weight you should carry is the weight of plenty, and it doesn't feel like a burden. It feels like wings that wait. Breaking the cycle is what you do. You are the builder. You are the first. Your job is to carry the light. God saw you in the field before you even got there. Trusting in little things that can't be seen was written down in a book that doesn't use the math that this world does to figure out value and worth. The line has been opened for you. You are the one who has been kept safe with the ancient frequencies for thousands of years, waiting for the right time to use them. You were born at this very moment. Not a time when you have to struggle more, but when you get what was always yours. Enter it. Take it. Use it to walk in. Don't say sorry for living it fully. Because the person who started the line doesn't want you to be quiet about it. He wants you to carry it in a way that everyone can see, so that they know the line is real. It's locked up. It has been proven. That's how it is. If something in your heart told you that what was said was true, before your mind fully understood what your spirit already knew, type "I receive" below this message. The statement you made isn't for a system. In a spiritual sense, it means agreeing with what heaven just gave the green light to in your life. Add your own words to what was open to close it. Also, if you want to stay in touch with this flow and get the next message for this season as soon as it comes out, make sure you subscribe. The messages are not just happening. They are in the right place. It picks up where the last one left off and continues it. Do not change the order. Click the like button if you thought what was said in this message was important today. You hit the channel not because it needs more subscribers to grow, but because you want this message to reach the person in your circle who has been carrying the same load without a name for it. That person is real. They are already known to you. The person who used to talk a lot about their dreams but has been surprisingly quiet lately. The faithful person who has been faithful in ways that no one in their close circle has noticed or named. The person who needs just one more confirmation to do what they've always been called to do, but has been waiting for proof that it's possible for someone like them. Don't wait until tomorrow to send them this message. Do it now. You are ready to reach out to them today, while the message is still fresh in your mind. This is your first act as the light bearer you were just named. Today's message could be the one that changes their season, just like this one did for you. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary, where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.